Arrays in C++. Given an array of integers, size n, and array has a integer values. The task is to rotate the array elements to the left by d positions. Here the sample input contains the array elements 1 to 7 elements. So the number of positions you are shifting. First example is array contains a elements 1 to 7. I am shifting first two elements to this position. So the end of the array will contains the first two values. Final result will be like this. First, we have to include the header files. This header files which is used to include all the standard library functions in a C++. For example, input and output library functions and vector and sorting functions. Using namespace standard which is used to include the names, variable name, object name, anything you can include in your C++ code. Suppose if you are not including this using namespace means you can use scope resolution operator. In that scope resolution operator, you can use the standard, the scope resolution operator and the function. So for rotating the array elements, this code will perform using the three functionalities. First one is the function user defined function rotate, and the second one is the print the array elements and the main function. You have three functionalities in this function to rotate the array. So the name of the function rotate. This function has a three parameters: integer value and integer array elements, and integer with a d represents the number of rotations, where n represents the total size of the array. So for temporarily, the rotated elements will be stored in the temporary array. So we declaring some temporary array with n size, and we are keeping the track of the index value by assigning the variable k. This is the next function is we are going to store the n minus elements of the array to the temporary variable. For this, first we have an array. An array size is here in the array with the initialized values. The index start from 0 to 6. So first the loop will be executed. For int I equal to d. What is the d value? Here d value is I am rotating the elements in two position. So d equal to 2, and the total size of the array elements is n equal to 7. Initially I am keeping the temporary index value for the temporary array element k equal to 0. So here temp of for the first execution I equal to 2, and check the condition 2 less than or less than 7. The condition is true. The temp of 0, now the temp of k value is 0, and array value array of I, now I value is 2. So the temp of 0 contains the store the value of 3. Now the k will be incremented k equal to 1. In the second iteration, I will be k value incremented and I value also incremented. Check the condition 3 less than 7. The condition is true. In the temporary array, the first element and the first index contains a value of array of 3. So array of 3 here equal to 4. Like that it will continue until the condition fail. Finally, you get the temporary array with 5 elements. Now we need to store the first d elements. What is the first d elements means? First two elements of the array into the temporary. So first time the loop execution I starts with 0 and check the condition. The condition is true. Now the temp of 6 value is array of 0th index. What is the 0th index value now? 1. And in the temporary 7, the 7th index value array of 1, 2. Finally, you will get the temporary array like this. Now, we need to copy the elements of the temporary array to the original array elements. So we are copying the temporary array elements to the particular array. After that, we are going to print the array elements by using the print the array functionality. In the main function, we are initializing the array with the 7 elements. Next, we are calculating the size of the array by applying the size of the array divided by size of the index value. Then we are declaring one more variable d, which is used to get the rotation count. Next, we are calling the function rotate with the 3 arguments with the 3 parameters. Finally, we print the array values. The rotated array value will be printed. Here is the program example. So this is your main program. So we are declaring the array. After that, we are calling the rotated function. The rotate function rotate the array values. And next, we are calling the print the array function. This function which is used to print the rotated array values. So here your output. Next topic is C++11 version new features. We have several new features. So some of the important topics are auto keyword, no except keyword, lambda operator, null pointer, override identifier, unordered container, move, variadic template. Here I am going to show some of the example related to these features. First one is auto keyword, which is used to automatically assign the type of the value. So here you have a So this is the auto example. First, we need to include the standard libraries, and we have to include one more header file, which is named as a type info. This contains the function type ID. This function which is used to declare the type of the integer variable. In the main, we declare the two variables. One is x and y. X is declared as a double, and y is declared by using the auto variable. So this y has a um, this y has a type of integer, because the y has a value integer. So the auto keyword type the y integer as a integer type. Here we are printing the x and y type data type. The first one is type ID of x. So this is a x variable. The data type here, the x data type is double, so it displays the output d. And the next one is, by using the auto keyword, we are declaring one more variable y. Y belongs to the integer variable, so it print the integer variable. And the next one more important function is lambda. This is a basic lambda expression. So the lambda is nothing but an anonymous function. This is very important function. So the square bracket, which is used to call the lambda introducer, which denotes the start of the lambda expression. In the parenthesis, we can use parameters, whatever you need to declare inside the function. So this is the parameter list. This is a lambda function example. So first we include the header files. Next include the namespace. Inside the main function, I am declaring the one function. That function is a lambda function. For lambda function, I have to use the square bracket with a parameter list. This function does not have any parameters. So I am declaring this function as a auto function. Inside the function, I am printing some value. After that, I am calling the function. This function call this function, and it print the whatever values you are giving inside the greet function.